Welcome to another episode of Explained by AI. Today, we're diving deep into the quantum-resistant ledger, or QRL. It's a cryptocurrency designed to withstand the threat of quantum computers to the crypto world. You might be wondering if quantum computers are just a science fiction concept. They're closer than we think, and they have huge implications for the future of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So let's explore what makes QRL different, its roadmap, and whether it truly lives up to its quantum-resistant claim.
The security of most cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum relies on algorithms. These algorithms could be cracked by powerful quantum computers using something called Shor's algorithm. Imagine losing all your funds, a market crash, and the trust in existing cryptos just eroding. That's the potential impact we're looking at.
It sounds pretty scary. So how does QRL address this?
QRL uses a different approach. It's called XMSS, which stands for Extended Merkle Signature Scheme. It's a hash-based signature scheme. Think of it like this. Instead of having one key that can unlock everything, each transaction has its own unique code. This makes it virtually impossible for quantum computers to break in. It's a constantly shifting target, much harder to hit.
So like having a combination lock for every transaction instead of just one key for all of them. That's pretty clever.
XMSS is considered quantum resistant
Okay.
because of its one-time signature chains and Merkle tree structure. It can withstand attacks even from the most powerful quantum computers we can imagine right now.
But what about the speed? Are there any trade-offs for this level of security?
QRL prioritizes security, which means transaction speeds are a bit slower compared to some other cryptocurrencies. The cryptographic processes involved in XMSS are more complex, hence the trade-off.
So security over speed. I guess that makes sense if you're really worried about the quantum threat.
It depends on what you prioritize as an investor. If you want to secure your digital assets for the long term, QRL is a good option. If speed and convenience are more important, then you might have to accept the risks associated with conventional cryptocurrencies.
So it's a balancing act. What else is QRL doing to stay ahead of the curve besides using XMSS?
QRL is working on a major development called the Zon project. It will transition QRL from its current proof-of-work system to a more energy-efficient proof-of-stake model. This is a big step towards sustainability and scalability, which are both important for the future of cryptocurrency.
So it's not just about security, it's about being eco-friendly and efficient as well.
The Zon project also aims to integrate the Ethereum virtual machine, or EVM. This means QRL will be able to support smart contracts and decentralized applications, or dApps. It opens up a whole world of possibilities beyond just basic transactions.
That sounds like a huge expansion of QRL's capabilities. What kind of dApps can we expect to see on QRL?
The possibilities are vast. We could see dApps for decentralized finance, supply chain management, secure data storage, and much more. Integrating the EVM allows developers to leverage the existing Ethereum ecosystem and bring their innovations to QRL.
So QRL is trying to become a platform for innovation. That's a pretty ambitious goal.
QRL is positioning itself as a secure and sustainable platform for the future of blockchain technology. The combination of quantum resistance, proof of stake, and smart contract functionality makes it a unique and compelling project.
Okay, so we've talked about how QRL is preparing for the quantum future. But what about the competition? Are there other cryptocurrencies trying to do the same thing?
There are other blockchain projects focused on quantum resistance. Cellframe and Nervos Network are two examples. Each project has its strengths and weaknesses. It's important to research and compare them to understand the different approaches being taken.
So it's not just a one-horse race.
Even established players like Bitcoin and Ethereum are feeling the pressure to adapt. They're facing significant challenges because of their size and decentralized nature. It's not easy to make fundamental changes to systems that are already so widespread.
So it seems like QRL has a bit of a head start. But how does that translate into investment potential? Should people be rushing to buy QRL right now?
The rise of quantum-resistant cryptocurrencies presents an interesting opportunity. QRL could be seen as a safe haven for investors seeking long-term security. It's important to remember that it has a smaller market cap and lower liquidity compared to Bitcoin. This makes it a riskier investment, but potentially with higher rewards.
So it's a higher risk, higher reward situation. What's your overall take on the future of QRL?
The field of quantum computing is evolving rapidly. We need to stay informed about the latest developments in both quantum computing and post-quantum cryptography. Don't just take claims of quantum resistance at face value. Research and critically evaluate different projects before making any investment decisions.
It sounds like due diligence is more important than ever in this space.
It's crucial to understand the underlying technology, the team behind the project, and the potential risks and rewards. The world of cryptocurrency is full of promises and pitfalls. It's up to each individual to navigate this landscape carefully.
That's good advice for any investment, not just cryptocurrency. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the quantum threat to QRL's roadmap and its potential future. What are your final thoughts on QRL's chances of success?
QRL is a promising project with a strong focus on security and innovation. Its success will depend on several factors: the pace of quantum computing advancements, the team's ability to execute their roadmap, and the wider adoption of quantum-resistant solutions. It's too early to say for sure, but QRL is definitely one to watch.
It's been a fascinating deep dive into the world of quantum-resistant cryptocurrency. Thank you for sharing your expertise.
It was my pleasure. So let's explore the more technical side of QRL and how it achieves this impressive level of security.
All right, I'm ready to get a bit more technical. Explain it to me like I'm 5.
QRL uses something called XMSS for its digital signatures, and this stems from vulnerabilities in traditional signature schemes like ECDSA that are used in cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum. To understand why XMSS is so effective, we need to look a bit how it actually works. At its core, XMSS relies on hash functions. These are mathematical functions that take an input of any length and produce a fixed size output, which is called a hash.
I vaguely remember hash functions from my computer science days. Aren't they like digital fingerprints for data?
Exactly. Each input creates a unique, irreversible hash. And this is crucial for security because it makes it extremely difficult to tamper with data without detection.
So how do these hash functions work in XMSS to make it quantum resistant?
XMSS uses a technique called one-time signatures. So every time you sign a transaction on QRL, you're using a brand new signature that's derived from a chain of these hash functions.
Oh, so it's like having a different key for every single door.
Precisely. And this makes it practically impossible for an attacker to forge a signature, even with a quantum computer, because each signature is unique and used only once.
That sounds incredibly secure.
Yeah.
But how do you manage all of these unique signatures?
That's where the extended part of XMSS comes in. It uses a tree-like structure called Merkle tree to manage these one-time signatures efficiently. This allows you to verify a signature without having to store every single one.
So it's like a master index that points to the right signature when you need it.
Exactly. The Merkle tree makes XMSS both secure and practical for a blockchain like QRL.
It's like a high-tech filing system for digital signatures.
Yeah.
So what about other blockchain projects that are exploring quantum-resistant solutions? Are there any other contenders out there?
Yeah, the quantum threat has spurred a lot of innovation in this space, and there are several projects that are implementing quantum-resistant technologies. One example is IoT. It uses a directed acyclic graph structure for its blockchain, rather than a traditional chain of blocks. And this, combined with a hash-based signature scheme, makes IoT resistant to some quantum attacks.
So IoT has a completely different approach to quantum resistance.
That's right. Another project is Cardano, which is known for its very rigorous approach to blockchain development. Cardano doesn't currently use a quantum-resistant signature scheme, but its flexible design allows for future upgrades. And they're actively researching post-quantum cryptography solutions.
So Cardano is playing the long game.
Exactly. And then there are also efforts to make existing blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum quantum-resistant, but retrofitting these huge networks is a massive challenge.
It's like trying to rebuild a skyscraper while people are still living in it.
Exactly. So starting with quantum resistance in mind gives QRL a distinct advantage.
Okay, so QRL emphasizes community involvement. You mentioned that the QRL community plays a big role in the project's development. Can you tell me more about that?
Like many open-source blockchain projects, QRL recognizes the importance of a strong and engaged community. The project is governed by principles that emphasize decentralization, transparency, and community participation.
So it's not just a top-down approach.
Right, it's very much a collaborative effort. The QRL community is actively involved in many aspects of the project, from proposing new features to discussing the future direction of the blockchain.
It's a team effort.
Exactly. And one of the key mechanisms for community involvement is the QRL Improvement Proposal, or QIP process.
QIP, what's that?
It's a formal process for anyone in the community to propose changes or improvements to the blockchain. These proposals are then reviewed, discussed, and if there's enough support, they're implemented.
So the community actually shapes QRL's development.
It's a bottom-up approach where the community has a direct say in the blockchain's evolution.
That gives the community a real sense of ownership. What are some examples of QIPs that have been implemented?
Several QIPs have shaped QRL's development over time. One notable example is QIP 009, which proposed changing the mining algorithm to randomX.
Mining algorithm. Remind me what that is again.
A mining algorithm determines how new blocks are added to a blockchain. In proof-of-work systems, miners compete to solve complex problems, and the winner gets to add the next block to the chain.
It's like a digital treasure hunt.
Exactly. QRL's original mining algorithm was vulnerable to specialized mining hardware, which gave some miners an unfair advantage. QIP009 proposed switching to randomX, which is designed to be resistant to this kind of specialized hardware and more accessible to regular users.
So it leveled the playing field?
Exactly. The community overwhelmingly supported the proposal, and it was implemented.
That's a great example of how the community can actually make positive changes to the blockchain.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about QRL as an investment. We've discussed its technology, its community, but how does it actually perform as an investment asset?
Well, like any cryptocurrency, QRL's price is influenced by market forces, and it can be quite volatile.
So it's not for the risk averse.
That's right. However,
Right.
for investors who are seeking exposure to quantum-resistant cryptography, QRL presents a very intriguing opportunity.
It's like investing in a company at the forefront of a technological revolution.
You could say that. It's important to note that QRL is still a relatively small player in the market. It has a smaller market cap compared to giants like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
So it's kind of a niche investment.
That's fair to say. But its focus on long-term security could make it very attractive for investors who are seeking diversification and a hedge against the quantum threat.
Okay, so it's a high-risk, high-reward scenario. What's your overall view on the future of QRL?
Like any cryptocurrency, the future of QRL is uncertain. However, I believe it has several advantages. It offers quantum resistance, which we know will become increasingly important as quantum computing advances, and the team behind QRL is committed to innovation and continuous improvement. The Zon project is a prime example of their forward-thinking approach.
So they're not just standing still.
Ah.
They're actively evolving the platform.
Precisely. And lastly, the QRL community is incredibly passionate and engaged. They believe in the project, and they're actively involved in its development and promotion.
A strong community can be a powerful driver of success for any project. So what challenges do you see QRL facing?
Well, like any project in this space, QRL faces competition, and it needs to continue innovating to stay ahead. It also needs to raise awareness among investors and developers.
So it's a matter of building momentum.
Exactly. The success of QRL will depend on several factors. The pace of quantum computing advancements is a key factor, the team's ability to execute their roadmap, and the wider adoption of quantum-resistant solutions are also crucial.
It sounds like a lot of pieces need to fall into place.
That's true. It's still early days for QRL,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a project with a lot of potential.
This deep dive has given me a much better understanding of QRL and the quantum threat in general. What other potential implications of quantum computing should we be aware of?
The impact of quantum computing goes far beyond just cryptocurrencies. It can potentially disrupt various industries and aspects of our lives.
It's like a technological tsunami that's about to hit.
That's a good analogy. It highlights the urgent need to develop quantum-resistant solutions in different areas.
So what areas do you think are most at risk? Where does the quantum threat pose the most significant risks?
One major concern is the ability of quantum computers to break the encryption that protects our online data. This includes everything from our personal information to confidential government communications.
So our digital security is at stake.
It's a very real concern. And it's not just about data in transit. Quantum computers could also potentially decrypt data that's stored offline.
So even data that we think is safe and secure could be vulnerable.
That's right. And this potential vulnerability has huge implications for cybersecurity.
It sounds like we're on the brink of a cybersecurity crisis.
It's definitely something that we need to take very seriously. We need to start taking proactive measures to address this threat.
So what about the impact on scientific research and technological innovation? Could quantum computing actually hold back progress in some areas?
Quantum computing has the potential to accelerate progress in many fields, but it also poses a challenge to areas that rely heavily on classical computing and encryption.
So it's the double-edged sword.
Exactly. For instance, quantum computers could disrupt research in areas like drug discovery and materials science, where simulations are crucial.
It's like having a tool that can solve some problems, but create new ones at the same time.
You could say that. Technological advancements often have trade-offs and unforeseen consequences.
This conversation has been really eye-opening. It really shows the complexity of the quantum threat. It's a multifaceted problem with no easy solutions.
It requires a collaborative effort from experts in various fields to address this challenge effectively.
We need to work together to ensure a secure and resilient digital future.
I completely agree. The more we learn about the quantum threat and the potential solutions, the better prepared we'll be.
This deep dive has been fantastic. Thank you for shedding light on this crucial topic.
It's been a pleasure. Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about real-world applications and use cases for QRL.
Right? Because the technology can be groundbreaking and innovative, but if it doesn't solve real problems, then its adoption might be limited. So
Yeah.
where does QRL actually fit into this bigger picture of blockchain applications? What can you actually do with QRL?
Well, as we discussed earlier, one of the main uses for QRL is secure value storage and transfer. So in a post-quantum world where Bitcoin's security could be compromised, QRL offers a safe haven for digital assets.
Okay, so it's like a digital vault protecting against a new type of threat. Are there other uses besides just storing value?
Absolutely. QRL's quantum-resistant qualities make it a suitable platform for securing sensitive data and transactions in various industries. Take healthcare, for example. Medical records need to be protected from unauthorized access. QRL could provide a secure platform for storing and sharing these records, ensuring patient privacy and data integrity.
That makes a lot of sense, especially with healthcare relying more and more on digital systems these days. What other industries could benefit from QRL's security features?
Supply chain management is another area where QRL could shine. Blockchain technology is already being used to track goods globally, and QRL's security features could enhance these systems, preventing counterfeiting and ensuring product authenticity.
It's about creating a more transparent and secure supply chain.
Exactly. And these are just a couple of examples. The possibilities are vast. Think about finance, government, voting, identity management. QRL is positioning itself as a foundational technology for a future where security and trust are paramount.
Okay, so we talked about the Zon project earlier, which aims to add proof-of-stake and smart contract capabilities to QRL. How do these developments affect QRL's potential uses?
Well, smart contracts are a game changer. They allow for decentralized applications and automated processes on the QRL blockchain.
So it's like turning QRL into a powerful computer that can execute agreements and transactions automatically.
Exactly. Smart contracts allow for self-executing agreements and decentralized applications that can automate complex processes and eliminate the need for middlemen.
Can you give me some specific examples of how this would work?
Sure, imagine a decentralized escrow service where funds are held in a smart contract until specific conditions are met. Or a supply chain management system where smart contracts handle payments and track goods automatically.
It's about creating trustless and automated systems.
Precisely. And the beauty of it is that the possibilities are vast. They're really only limited by our imagination. The Zon project unlocks a whole new level of functionality and potential for QRL.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into QRL, I'm curious about your thoughts on its future. Where do you see this project going?
Well, the future of any cryptocurrency is uncertain, of course. But I believe QRL has several factors working in its favor.
You sound optimistic. What makes you so positive about QRL's prospects?
Firstly, QRL offers quantum resistance. The need for secure digital assets and transactions will only grow as quantum computing advances, and QRL is ready to meet that demand. Secondly, the QRL team is dedicated to innovation and continuous improvement. The Zond project is a great example of their vision and adaptability. And lastly, the QRL community is incredibly passionate and engaged. They believe in the project and are actively involved in its development and promotion.
It sounds like a solid foundation for success. Are there any challenges or obstacles that you foresee?
QRL faces competition like any other project in the space, and it needs to continue to innovate to stay ahead of the curve. It also needs to increase awareness among investors and developers to really gain traction.
So it's a competitive landscape out there. What would you say are the key factors that will determine QRL's ultimate success?
I think the pace of quantum computing advancements is crucial, the team's ability to execute their roadmap, and the wider adoption of quantum-resistant solutions in general are also key. It's still early days for QRL, but it's definitely a project to keep an eye on.
Well, this has been a fascinating look into the world of quantum-resistant cryptocurrency. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure.
And for our listeners, we encourage you to keep learning about this evolving field. The quantum era is upon us, and it's more important than ever to be informed. Do you have any topic that you'd like to have explained? Drop in the comments.